What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Snowstorm Studios. It's Billy here with another Sorc build video, guys. Summerset dropped for PC yesterday, so what have I been doing all day? DPS testing, trying out new builds, trying to figure out what the easiest build with the best DPS for your, the best bang for your buck for Summerset. So, guys, this is an update to the other one, but as I said, I'll preface it with what I did the other one, guys. These builds are not best in slot. These builds are basically just trials and craftable sets that'll actually, or dungeons and craftable sets, not trials, that'll get you really good DPS numbers, and it's a great start to a Magicka Sorc. And that's really what's important, is getting that first build where you can go do harder content and then get better gear, because that first build is usually the hardest one to make. So that's what this is. And guys, there's a very good possibility I'll actually have two new Sorc videos. So this will be version 1, and then the other one I post will be version 2. Both hit right around 30k on if you do a rotation perfectly, but they can hit anywhere from 20 to 30k, just depending on the skill level of the rotation. But either way, in dungeons it'll perform well. Let's get into it. So first thing, guys, we are a Breton, as you can see. You can obviously be a High Elf, which is best for Mag Sorc. I like the Breton better because it's tankier, and I just like Bretons because I'm a Lord buff, but you can be High Elves. Dark Elves are also usable, especially with the 2 Inferno staffs that we're going to be doing now. Dark Elves can be just as good as High Elves, and Bretons are good too. But we're doing 61 into Magicka, guys, 3 into Health. You can really do any variation of these. You can do all 64 into Magicka, you can do 5 into Health and 59 into Magicka, whatever you feel is like the best for like your health. But if we look at the stats here, guys, we have 42k max Magicka, we have 2837 spell damage, we have 53.3 crit, and we have 1200 Magicka recovery, which is all pretty good stats. Magicka recovery is a little low, but it's because I took 1 off the jewelry because we have more max Magicka wearing the sets that we're. So, guys, if we go to the back bar, then we can see our stats go from 42 to 40, 28 to 26, and the spell recovery is right about the same. And the reason that changes is just because we don't have inner light on the back bar. That was the difference. When we come down here, guys, we are eating Witch Mother's Potent Brew as our food. Witch Mother Potent Brew is a really good, easy food to get. You can buy it pretty quick, and it gives you Magicka recovery, max Magicka, and health. No stamina, but as a Magicka build, just don't dodge roll all over the place and save it for important times. That's all I can say. The Apprentice is going to be our Mundus Stone, guys. Some people are using the Lover for pen. Some people are using the Thief for crit. I say spell damage is still the best, especially in group content. Don't want to overpen with the Lover, and you don't need that much crit, ever since it was nerfed forever ago. Now, guys, if we go to the inventory, let's look at what we are wearing here. So with staffs, guys, let's look down here. It will say... Oh, I don't know if it says it anywhere. It doesn't say it, but staffs, guys, now count as 2 pieces of armor. So what does that mean? We can do 2 5 pieces, and a monster set. So that's what we're doing for this build. We are using 2 staffs of Julianos. Now, before anything, both staffs need to be Inferno. I just did not have another Inferno staff on hand. I had a Lightning staff, but the enchant is exactly the same as what we want. But we're using Julianos, guys. It gives us crit, max Magicka, crit, spell damage. Really, really solid set. If you get it all in gold, you get 299. I am 1 purple piece, so it's 295. But it can get you 299 spell damage buff, which is really good for all spell damage abilities. It's why it's better than Netch's Touch, because in Netch's Touch, you're only getting lightning abilities, and no one really uses it anymore. But like I said, guys, Inferno Staff infused on both bars. So this is Inferno infused, this is a Lightning infused, and then for the enchantments, we're doing a Shock glyph on the front bar. You can do a Flame glyph for even more flame damage. And then on the back bar, we're doing a weapon increase, or weapon damage, or Berserker is the name of it. And then some people will say, why 2 fire staffs? It's much harder to get regen, or it's much harder to get Magicka back when you're doing a heavy attack. And I would agree with that, but the fire staffs are just so much stronger this patch because 2 patches ago, off balance was hit. So lightning is now used by tanks and healers on their back bars. So no point for them anymore. Guys, for the monster set, we're going to be going back with Elambris. The reason I like Elambris is because of that 1 piece, 1096 max Magicka. Some people wear Scoria, some people will wear Zons or Grothdar. I'm pretty sure, I don't know what Grothdar gives, but I know Zons is crit and Scoria is health for the 1 piece. So I really like Elambris for the max Magicka because light attacks hit harder the more max Magicka you have. So that's what you can wear. But if you want to put on Valken Scoria, you can right here. You can see the differences. We'll lose max Magicka, but we will get single target and a little bit of health. So if you go into a trial and they're like, hey, your health needs to go up, carry some Scoria on you. It can do the trick. So then, guys, we're going to be wearing the robe of Julianos, the waist, and the gloves, and that is going to be all the Julianos we wear. So that's 5 pieces. Each staff is 2, and then we got 3 on the body. Then we'll be doing Burning Spellweave, guys. That is the other reason we do 2 Inferno staffs, is because Burning Spellweave's 5-piece. When you deal damage with Flame damage ability, you have a 50% chance to apply Burning status effect and increase your spell damage by 513 for 8 seconds. This effect can occur every 12 seconds. It's not a super long cooldown comparative to Acuity, and since you're using a Flame Staff on the back bar, your Wall of Elements will get the Flame ability, so it's even more chance to proc it, which is really, really good. So, what you get from the 2, 3, and 4 piece, Max Magicka, Spell Damage, Spell Crit. It's a really, really nice equaled out set, and it's a really, like, quality other 5 piece. So we'll be wearing the Burning Spellweave legs, boots, and all the jewelry. Now, before I go to the jewelry, the other thing I want to say about all the armor, guys, is I'm doing all divines, besides for the chest. The chest I'm doing infused. Why is that? Max Magicka increase, guys. Again, light attacks are getting a buff from Max Magicka. Or they don't get a buff from Max Magicka, they scale off Max Magicka. So, you can do the chest and the legs infused because they're heavy pieces. They're what they call big pieces, so they get a bigger buff. So, like, look at the feet. The feet only have 351 Max Magicka. Well, these have 886. Just because it's a bigger piece of armor, so it adds more stat. If you do infused, it's going to increase your enchantment. So my enchantment of 868 gets a 20% increase to 10,041 Max Magicka. All I'm doing, guys, increasing Max Magicka to have better light attacks. That's the only reason. You can do divines. Everything else is divines, but you can do, as I do, a infused chest. Then with the jewelry, guys, it's going to be 3-piece Burning Spellweave. So all these are going to have spell damage enchants. Because we're doing the infused right here, we have more Max Magicka. We don't need the recovery as much. So all spell damage, and they're all arcane, which is Max Magicka increase. You can do Berserker on one of them, or infused. Infused will give you more damage. Berserker will give you better execute. But I like the arcane again, guys, because the Max Magicka gives a nice buff to the light attacks, and it's not that hard to get. I'm trying to make this an easy one to get, and infused and Berserker are really hard enchantments to get at the beginning of Summerset on console. So just 3 arcane, really easy to get your hands on, and really good. So, if you want to work for the Berserker or the infused, go for it. You got to do Sigic shards or whatever they're called, or you got to go do PvP, I think, for Bloodthirsty or Battlegrounds or something like that. But 3 arcane, honestly, is really good. Then, guys, let's go to the skills. So, for the front bar, guys, we're going to be doing Crystal Frag. Actually, nothing has changed here from the old build, actually. So, Crystal Frag, nothing's changed. Just a great ability. It just does straight damage. Only use it when you proc it. You can do Haunting Curse, guys. You can choose between Haunting Curse or the Execute, which is Mage's Wrath. I like Haunting Curse because you can use it throughout the whole fight, not just the end of it. But you can put on Mage's Wrath, and that's just as good. It'll hit a little less, I think, on the parse test, but it's good. Crushing Shock, guys. People always ask me why Crushing Shock instead of Force Pulse, and the reason is the bottom here. Enemies hit while casting are interrupted, set off balance, and stunned for 3 seconds. It's a really good group utility, and I think it does just a little less damage for a lot of benefit in Trials and Dungeons. Here's the one move we need to talk about, guys, and that is Bound Aegis. So what happened to Bound Aegis? Because when you go to use it, look at that. That was it. It's gone now. So what happened? Are we not getting that move anymore? Well, no. We are getting that move still. So what happens is protect yourself with the power of Oblivion, creating a suit of Daedric armor, increasing your block mitigation by 20% for 3 seconds. That is for tanking. The Sorc tank. That's what they're helping there. But at the bottom, guys, while slotted, so not turned on, just while it's put there, my Max Magicka increased by 8%. You gain Minor Ward and Minor Resolve. These increase your spell and physical resistance. So, you don't have to toggle it on or off anymore. And some people have even decided to not keep it on both bars. Some people decided to take it off the back bar, which I didn't, but you can do. I'll show you what you can do there. But keep it on the front bar for the Max Magicka increase, because on the front bar, we're going to be doing light attacks, and you want all the increase you can get on Max Magicka. Same with Inner Light, guys. It's just while slotted, you get 5% increase, and you gain Minor Prophecy, increasing your spell crit by 2191. That's why we use it. Crit increase, Magicka increase, solid. The ultimate we'll be using, guys, is the Storm Matronarch. This is because I'm trying to make it easy for you. You don't have to go get Shooting Star. The Storm Matro is really good. Make sure you do Greater Storm Matronarch. It has the 28-second duration. It's a really long time and really great for parse tests. Back bar, guys. So this is going to be not Blockade of Storms, it'll be Blockade of Flames with the Flame Staff. Just an AoE. We used it before. Liquid Lightning, guys. This will always stay Lightning, but it's an AoE again. Really good. Hardened Ward for the shield, guys. Since we're working on getting Max Magicka, Hardened Ward scales off Max Magicka. So the more Max Magicka you have... God, if I say Max Magicka one more time, I might freak out. But the more Max Magicka you have, the better the shield will be. So we can use it because we're focusing on Max Magicka doing the Infuse, the Arcane. It works. Now, guys, Bound Aegis on the back bar. You don't need it, actually. So what people are doing, and I don't know if I like it or not yet, they're putting Mage's Wrath here. So what does Mage's Wrath do, guys? It is an execute move. It says the enemy falls below 20% within 4 seconds, an explosion deals an additional 10,000 shock damage to them and 4,000 shock damage to other enemies nearby. So when you're fighting a boss and it gets under 20%, you spam this instead of Force Pulse. So some people put it there because you only need the Max Magicka on the front bar where you're light attacking. You can do either. I'll leave it on for there for you, but you can do Bound Aegis too. Me, personally, I do Bound Aegis on both bars because I just love Max Magicka. Then, guys, the oh-so-controversial Power Surge. I get a lot of crap for this one because people will use Inner Light here, just like on this bar, and then what they do is they use Spell Power Pots. Again, guys, easy to use. You don't have to buy Spell Power Pots. Use this while active. Basically, it gives you minor sorcery, weapon damage, and spell damage for 33 seconds and 20% increase. But the reason I like it, guys, is the bottom part. While active, dealing a critical strike has heals you for 2,250 or 2,550 health. So basically, if you activate this, guys, every time you do damage and crit, you heal yourself. It's really, really useful. And I suggest using it if you don't want to spend money on Spell Power Pots. You'll lose a little crit on your back bar, but screw it. Then, guys, finally, champion points. So let's start over here at the Mage. We're going to do 31 into Thaumaturge. We're going to do 20 into Master at Arms. 2 in Staff Expert. 20 in Elfborn. 27 in Elemental Expert. None in Spell Erosion yet, because this is under 300 CP. No worries about that yet. Nothing in the Shadow. We're going to do 49 and 49 in Tenacity and Arcanist. Arcanist is Recovery. Tenacity is increase how much you get from a heavy attack, which is really good when you need a Fire Staff, because you need to work on that. Warlord, guys, Break Free. Nothing in the Warrior. And then in the Warrior, or in the nothing in the Lord. In the Lady, we're going to do Hardy, Elemental Defender, Thick-Skinned. We'll do 23, 23, 23. And then we'll do 31 in Ironclad, which reduces our direct damage. Guys, just read what each one of those champion points does, and you can figure out if it's important to you or not. So a Thaumaturge is going to increase your damage over time. Master at Arms is direct damage. Staff Expert is increased damage done by light and heavy attacks. Elemental Expert is lightning, shock, and frost. Elfborn is going to be critical damage. Spell Erosion will be pen. You know, you got to kind of figure out what's important to you. But this is a really good setup for under 300 champ points. And guys, I think that is actually going to be the entire build. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps you out. I would try this out for yourself. For pots, guys, just use Magicka pots. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. This is going to hit harder than the old build for pre-Summerset. So yeah, make sure you try to switch this one. One final thing I guess I can say is Burning Spellweave, guys, comes from City of Ash 1 and 2. Julianos is craftable. And then Lambris comes from Redbeard's chest. And then the Lambris head comes from Crypt of Hearts 2. So, I hope that helped out, guys. I hope to see you in the next stream. And I will catch you later. Peace out.